My name is Eluga Morris. I hold a degree in science, currently finalizing my master's in molecular biology from Makerere University. I am the senior embryologist of Women's Hospital International, position I've held for close to 14 years now. And this is my office. Today I'm going to talk about gamete storage or gamete freezing. By gametes, we are referring to either female for the egg or the sperm for the male. And where we are seated right now is where we basically store those gametes. I'll discuss a little bit in detail about the male gamete storage and the female gamete storage separately. But I will start with the male gamete storage. The sperm storage is one of the easiest in our IVF routine work. There are quite a number of reasons that's why people decide to store their gametes, the sperm. The main one is basically it's a clinical one whereby you have a man who's been diagnosed with a cancer mainly, and they're going for chemotherapy or radiotherapy, but they still wish to have children in their later life. So they come, we offer such services. We can freeze their sperm for a long time. We also do sperm freezing for reasons which they may be social or maybe career determined. For example, you have someone is traveling out of the country and they don't expect to come back early or in a shorter period, that the wife is left behind and they wish to have a family. So we have those cases also where people will store off their sperm for that purpose. We also have cases of like soldiers who are going for war. Those are not so many, but I've had experience with them as well. They come and keep their sperm with us. We have a lot of sperm stored in this room, a lot. As you can see, all the cryo tanks behind me. Sperm storage is not dependent on electricity. We depend on liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen maintains very, very low temperatures, close to minus 200 degrees. These are temperatures that are experienced on the surface of the moon, very, very cold. So they can stay in these conditions for a very long time. Because we are talking gametes, in most cases, there's not much cutoff time in reference to how long a sperm or an egg can be kept. I know of a sperm sample that was frozen for over 25 years that was used to have a child. Of course, there are other issues that may arise with that, but it's just a seed, so we can keep them for a very, very long time, for as long as liquid nitrogen is there and there's somebody to replenish the tanks every now and then. We keep our sperms in small vials. They call them cryo vials. These are specifically designed to withstand very cold temperatures. The sperms are frozen in solutions. We call them cryoprotection solutions. Cryoprotection solutions mean that the sperms are safe even at a very low temperature. These solutions will cover the sperm. They form kind of a coat around the sperm cell. So even if the sperm experiences very low temperatures, they do not affect the integrity of this sperm cell and can still be removed and used at a later date or a later time when the need for it arises. Our oldest cryopreserved sperm at the moment is this is 2021, frozen in 2004. It's about 17 years now. Yes, that's the oldest frozen sperm sample that we have. We also have frozen sperm cells that are extracted from testicular tissues. We normally do this for men who who are diagnosed with azoospermia, for example, obstructive azoospermia, and we extract the sperms from the testes. The sperms can be kept for a very long time. We also have another sample of that nature that's almost 15 or 16 years old. We hope one day the couple will come back and use them. But the main reason we keep our sperm as a fertility unit is for men who may not be readily available to produce a sperm sample on the day that the wife is undergoing treatments, because when the day of treatments, when we get the eggs, we should have a sperm to add to the egg to make an embryo. So I think that's much about sperm, about sperm preservation as a male gamete. The female gamete, which is the ovum or the egg, that's commonly known. Also, we keep it in the same facility. The female gamete is a little bit sensitive compared to the male gamete. However, science has improved now that we are able to keep or to freeze the female eggs. Now, in fact, I have some eggs frozen already in this facility, in this room. Eggs, unlike sperms, have to be stimulated. The woman has to be stimulated to produce the egg. The woman is given hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. The follicles grow. Inside the follicles, there's an egg growing. So it's that egg that we pick out for freezing. The woman can grow between 1 to 70, 80 eggs, depending on the age of the woman. And then we only freeze off the eggs that are mature. Just like all biological seeds, you only consider seed that's mature for storage. So the egg process of egg collection is done in the collection theater by the gynecologist. The gynecologist will give the biologist, who happens to be me, to identify the eggs inside the follicular fluid. Once I identify the egg, I enumerate them, count how many eggs I have. I inform the patient or the doctor about the number of eggs that I've collected. Then I process the eggs to identify the mature ones from the immature ones, and only the mature ones are kept. Just like the other gamete we talked about, the sperm, egg freezing also involves subjecting these eggs to very drastic cold conditions of minus 196, that's minus 200 degrees of liquid nitrogen. But these eggs are protected with a coat. For the egg, you have to add in another element which we don't see when we're working with sperm, because the egg has a chunk of it is water, and when you snap freeze water, it can crystallize or form ice, and this is detrimental to the integrity of the egg. In fact, unlike sperms, eggs, the freezing technique we employ in eggs is referred to as vitrification. Vitrification is literally means snap freeze. You freeze in a split second. The sperms are frozen slowly, like in the freezer or something, but it's not. It's a slow process compared to the egg. The egg, it's a snap freeze. Within a split second, you should have frozen it. Otherwise, you're going to destroy it. That process is called vitrification. It has improved over the years, and now the survival rates of eggs is quite excellent. In the past, you would freeze 10 eggs and recover 4 or recover 5, but today you freeze 10 eggs, you can be guaranteed you're going to recover 9 eggs. It's a very meticulous process which has to be performed by a very experienced person, someone who has done it over time and who has mastered how to do it. So we do it here, and we are glad that our recovery is quite excellent, and all the processes that follow it are quite excellent. Just like sperm again, there's really no cutoff. Say you freeze eggs for 5 or 6 years. No, eggs can be frozen for a very long time, non-specified time, as long as the freezing facility is manned, freezing facility is run. You don't have to worry about electricity. Of course, you worry about electricity if the nitrogen producing plant has a fault. But at the moment in Uganda, I'm glad to say we are happy. We have quite a number of liquid nitrogen producing plants. It's quite expensive though, but it's fine. We're able to get the nitrogen, and for the 15 plus years that the lab has been running, we've not had any instances whereby the gametes are destroyed due to lack of liquid nitrogen. Reasons for egg freezing vary, but just like a sperm, some of these reasons are social, some of these reasons are actually medical based. Again, you have young girls with cancers, and by advice from the oncologists, they always tell them, before we go for radiotherapy or chemotherapy, please have some of your eggs frozen off. So they come here, we stimulate them, we produce the eggs, and then these eggs can be frozen off. Yes, I have some. However, it's a bit of an advice that I can give in terms of who and when somebody should freeze their eggs. Unlike sperms, which don't have an age limit, you can freeze your sperms even at 90, no problem. But for eggs, it's biologically known. These are biological facts that have not changed as long as humanity has been with us, that at a certain age, a woman will stop producing eggs. The quality and the quantity of the egg decreases with the age of the woman as they approach their menopausal age, 45 plus. So because of that curve, it's advisable that if you're considering freezing your eggs, at least come when it's still a bit early, when your reserve is still good and your quality is still good. So for me, I'll advise, say, from 35 and below, it's okay. But from 35 up, the curve is a bit low. So your chances of getting the numbers and the qualities are much reduced. Why do ladies consider freezing eggs? Ladies consider freezing eggs because, one, I mentioned chemotherapy treatments. Two, social reasons. I'm not ready to have a child. I've not yet got a husband. We have that group. Three, my career is still young. I still need to grow. So you find that depends on somebody's decision. Egg freezing is open to every person who is willing to come and freeze their eggs. Like I said earlier, it's much improved now. A lot of things have changed, and the quality of the eggs is now, the quality of recovery is very, very good. So it's advisable that if you are considering delaying having a family as a woman, please come and have some of your eggs stored off. Otherwise, time may catch up with you, and the quality and the quantity of your eggs drops drastically, and it may affect your ability to have a child.